my goodness. How's everybody doing? Happy stream night. Here's the crew. Hey, Prey. What's up, Love and Meeples? Hey, Steph. Oh my gosh. Court support. What is up, friend? Hope y'all are well. What's up, Chantel? I am very, very excited. I am over the moon excited. This day has been coming for many months. Here we are. Oh my gosh. What's up, End of Turn Impulse? How you doing, buddy? Thanks for joining in. I am ecstatic to play this game and start this journey with you. We're going to play some Dice in the Darkness. It's going to take some explaining as we jump in here. And if you don't have the sheets yet, I'm going to be sharing those in the chat here. So there's lots of different commands that you can access here. So not that one. One of them is game, and that is the link for tonight's room. And so you can grab that. You can play along either on your computer. Some folks do that. They'll have it just pull it up on their paintbrush or whatever it is they use on their computer, and they actually just will do it that way. Or you can print it off and play yourself. What's cool about this game is your character sheet is going to be one that you carry with you through the entire campaign as we journey. So we have a decision point here. I'm so excited, I'm jumping right in. I can't even wait a second. But, all right, so this is, you get to choose a character as we journey in Dice in the Darkness. So I'll explain it all, and then we can jump into the first room, make sure that you have a good feel for it. But these are the different links to the drop boxes. Deep breaths. I know this is no journey to 100 adrenaline that we're talking about. So that's right, Chantel. Also, the rules, let me share the rules link. I think it's rules. Yep. Yeah, I'll explain the rules, so you really don't need that tonight. But if you were going to use that, you could do that as well. Also, if I forget, help me remember, at the end of our playthrough tonight, I have a survey, which you're saying, wow, a survey. That sounds awful. But really, this, I've done a lot of internal playtesting with my game designer friends and myself. But, you know, it's so helpful to have other feedback. A survey. Exciting, I know. Wait, here's the catch. It's super short, but just to get a feel for if you liked the room, if you didn't, what you liked about it or what you didn't like about it. And so we can make it better is the idea. But also, at the end of that survey, there's a room coming up, room 5, that I have a lot of little characters that I can name. And so at the end of that survey, if you want to have your name or your Twitch name, or you want to name it in honor of someone else, at the end, if you would like to have that included, you can get your name in room 5. You don't have to fill out the rest of the survey if you don't want to. But if you want to participate in that part of it, I thought it would be fun to have like you're joining in, you get to be a part of the story as we go. Cool? Cool. All right, well, let me go to the table here as we start to explain some of these character sheets. Oh my goodness. So you get to choose from one of 3 characters. You can be a rogue, a wizard, or a warrior. Now, these are very much like the classic tropes of those. If you're looking at gameplay-wise, the rogue looks at low numbers, 1s and 2s specifically a lot. The wizard looks at 3s and 4s, the middle numbers, and the warrior looks at 5s and 6s a lot. If you also look, each one of these, they have a specific skill tree, and that's a unique thing for those characters as well. What's up, Danky Dunk? You ready? You going to be a wizard or a rogue? What do you think, pal? The wizard has a spell book here, and the warrior has a battle axe. Also, they each have unique achievements for each character. They also have unique battle abilities and unique powers, special powers. Whenever I'm not. You're going to make up your own character. Going rogue. Rogue with the rogue. Bella, I know. I named this after our dog, our sweet dog that we lost last year. So also, if you type in dog, here we go. If you want to have a little standee to remind yourself what this journey is all about, the story, which we'll get to in just a little bit more fully, is your dog, your beloved dice dog, has been captured. It is. It is prey. It's a little more complicated than the others. I know. It's like that meme with the guy and he's got all like the red strings and he's like, yeah, here's this great idea. I know. Hang with me. It may be too complicated. It is a little bit of setup, but the gist is that your character that you choose tonight, you're going to take that character and you're going to run that sheet, this character, through every single room. The rooms you'll play just one time, but then this character will upgrade and all that fun stuff, and by the end of it we'll have experienced quite a thing. Because if you look here at the bottom, it's over 10 rooms and it has some hints along the way. So let's kind of break down what is on a character sheet, and that'll make a little more sense. So the first thing you get to do is you get to name your character. Here's their class. Right here is your upgrades. It's strength and dexterity and mind, wisdom. Those three, they start out, you haven't unlocked any of those yet. Also, if you look over here to the right, you have these 4 abilities, which are your battle abilities. These 4 abilities, which are your power abilities. Special powers down here. The way you unlock these and these is through your skill tree. Now, if you look also, you start with 1 unlocked battle ability. You start with 1 unlocked special ability. How about these abilities? Also, you get to name your dog. It's a little more personal, right? You care about this dog. That's what we're trying to do. Gosh, we better rescue the dog by the end. By room 10, if we haven't rescued the dog, this is probably a really bad story. So let's actually look over here. I think the warrior skill tree is the most straightforward. But after we play each room, you'll get skill points to mark along. So it's like a little mini roll and write. And as you would X off, say, this arrow, the arrow coordinates up here with upgrading one of your skills. It's all good, Prey. It's all good. Thank you. So one of your skills here that you would choose to upgrade as you go along. If you hit one of those arrows, you choose one of those to upgrade. The idea is that in future rooms, that you would get special abilities depending on how far along you are on those tracks. Cool, and those kind of coordinate to the 5, 6, the 3, 4, and the 1, 2. Also, if you get all the way to like an A1, that's where you would unlock this special ability, the defensive stance. Cool. Some of this is like stuff for future games. It'll make a little more sense as we go, but just to give you a lay of the land, at the end of each room, you'll earn 3, 4, or 5 skill points to spend in your skill tree, and depending on what your score was. If you look here, your achievements, these are unique for each person. So the warrior says, in a battle, deal 5 or more damage in 1 round. This first room is a battle, so you could unlock that achievement. So you need to just read all those for what your character is for those. When you unlock one of those, you get 3 skill tree points to spend right then. So you can unlock those along the way. Also, if you look here, your special powers, each of the rooms, I feel like a crazy person here. Each room that we're going to play, in the top right corner, it has how many special power uses you have for that round. Good news, this first round, you just have 1 use of this 1 ability that you start with. So 1 time during the whole round, at any time you can spend it once, and with the warrior I could change a die to a 5. But as we go along, you could unlock more special power uses for each room, and you could unlock 3 of those, so you could have potentially 4 uses of special powers in a room. That makes sense? Cool. So those are good for any room as we play along. Every room you can use those. The battle abilities only matter during, well, a battle. There's going to be 4 of those over the course of the game. This is one of the first ones, but that would be a reason why you want to unlock those, some special things there. All right, that's kind of the lay of the land. Also, let me point you to this. There are these 10 bones. In each room, there is a bone to collect. You don't have to, but it's a fun extra thing to try to go for. For each bone you collect at the end of the game, at the end of the whole game, the campaign, you get 1 point for every bone you found along the way. So that's fun. So as you look at the map, you'll see where the bone is, and you can decide if you want to go for that or not. Just a fun little extra. Usually it's just worth a couple points for each map. All right, are we good? So the skill tree for this one is pretty straightforward. If you look at the wizard, it starts here in this corner, and then you can go either way. As you go on your skill tree, you can X and you can go off any previous X. So I could start this way, and then I could continue down this way, kind of work my way through this spell book. The rogue is more unique. He has 4 daggers, and you can start at any one of them. You could restart at any one of them also. You don't have to finish one all the way. You could start to go down on one and then skip over and go to this one. But you see that those different letters are tied to those. All right, enough puzzly stuff? So far, so good. Okay, thank you. Okay, good. Oh, wait, who am I chatting to? It's just me and the Nightbot in the chat. Okay, we did it. We did it. It's like clouds of dust. All right, that's the character sheet. Are we okay with that? Did I explain everything? Any questions about the character sheet? Okay. Great. Still here. All right. Good. There's also a rule page for all this business, but that's everything I just explained, so I don't think you need to know anything else. All right. Some of this is like kind of like as we get to other rooms, that's what these things will be. But right now, it may be information overload for you. At the end of this room, just a heads up, here's where you will write your score for that specific room. And there's a chart that tells you what the different score thresholds are, and you'll get 3, 4, or 5 points. You write that there. All right. I think I'm going to be a wizard. Wizard. Lets me change dies to 3s to start out. I have a stunning strike as well. All right. I need to name my wizard. I have no idea what to name him. What's a good wizard name? All right, Steph. Wizard team. Wizard twinsies. I don't want to name it like what classic wizards are. I know. What about Gandalf? That seems unique. No. What's a good wizard name? Maybe Wilfred? I feel like I want a W name. I feel like I want a W name in it. Let me move this up a little bit. That's great. Thanks for spectating. I think Harry Potter would be good. Barry Potter. I think I'm gonna name him Wilfred. All right. I'm gonna name my dog Bella. Here we go. You know, and so, yeah, I don't know, Chantel. Walter Torchhands? Oh, why did I already write Wilfred? Oh, no. Walter Torchhands sounds great. Court support, that's really top notch there. Walter Torchhands, wizard. Sneaks and Cooper. Wilhelmina, good names. Good names. So you can name your dog if you have a real pet. You can name it that. You can name it in honor of a pet. You could name it a silly name, whatever you want. I've got my little standee here to keep it fresh. Hey, I was gonna say this too. This is the Thursday night character. I'm gonna run this every Thursday night. Fish, good name. I'm gonna run this every Thursday night with the wizard, but on Sunday I'm gonna do another stream at 3 o'clock Eastern Standard Time with a different character repeating the same room from the previous week, because we've got some folks that are different time zone that want to join in, and this is a time that they're actually asleep. All right, cool. So we're going to look here at this room. First, I'm going to read some things first, and then we're going to watch a silly video. That's great, Chantel. You can watch, you can join in on Sunday. You could watch and then join in later, print it yourself and play yourself. Cool. Where's my story? Y'all, I wrote some story. Hang with me. Okay. That's it. See. It's okay. Once we get in, you'll be all right. Turns to the first room and it's bajillion rules. It's all right. All right, here we go. Here's some story. This is at the end of the character sheet, rules and setup. A blur of purple rushes down the stairs and into the darkness. The creature looked like a mushroom with legs and arms and a face. The last thing you saw was your beloved dog, Bella, held by this ghoulish creature looking at you for help. You must rescue your loyal companion. All right. Here's some more story. You ready? You hurry down the steps, walking into a cold, damp, mossy room. Lying on the floor is a large, green ogre. It rubs its eyes, looking annoyed as if it had just awakened from a nice slumber. Beyond the ogre is the only door leading deeper into the dungeon. Whoever or whatever stole your dog has woken this ogre from its slumber. And the old adage from your childhood rings in your head. If you wake the ogre that was sleeping, you'll be the one who is weeping. The ogre grabs a wooden whacking club and stands up. It's taller than you thought. The ogre screams, "Blargarg," which loosely translates to, "How dare you wake me from my slumber, you tiny, spineless child of an imp? Now I shall defeat you in a duel." You pause a moment to be thankful that you took that intro class in basic ogre dialect. You shout, "Blar, blar, blarg," which loosely translates to, "Do you know where the library is located?" The ogre lunges towards you. The battle begins. All right, here we are, room 1. It is an ogre greeting. It's a battle room here. One thing I like to do is to take, you can take your character sheet and put it kind of beneath this sheet and to the right so you can see your superpowers that you have unlocked. So right now you should have this top ability unlocked. For the wizard, it's called Stunning Strike. I forget what the name is for the other two. It's Double Strike or Silent Dagger. You also have your special power unlocked here, which I have Levitate unlocked. So you can kind of put it here so you can just be reminded of that if that's helpful. So here's how this system works. We're going to be fighting against this ogre. I'm going to put in my character name here. I'm Walter Torchhands. I'm wondering, did Walter get the name Torchhands? Like, was born with the name Torchhands and grew into it? Or, you know, was it like a name that, a nickname because he had torches for hands? I don't know. So in this, we're it's an earned title. It seems like it, doesn't it? It has the feel of an earned title. With this room, we're going to be going back and forth fighting this ogre. This is what these battle rooms are going to look like. So we'll do a dice roll. All the dice and Dice in the Darkness, every room, we're just going to be rolling 2 dice. So with those 2 dice, we'll roll, we'll put it in here, and then we'll resolve those 2 dice, and then the monster will act and do their actions. And then we'll roll again, the monster will act and do their actions. If you see, the monster's actions are all in red, so we know what this monster is going to be doing as we play the game. We win by defeating this monster, by Xing off all the hearts of this monster. You can see that he's got, what, 10 hearts right now. We don't lose, but we get knocked out if we lose all of our hearts. Down here is our health and things we've unlocked. So we start with 1 shield and 3 hearts. There's also energy here, that's the lightning bolts, and then there's stars, which are victory points. If you look here in this middle zone, this is where it's like a kind of a classic roll and write game where there are 4 different zones for you to be advancing and working towards to try to get better. You're kind of upgrading your character in this one battle. So with 1 die, you will choose one of these areas to advance. With the other die, okay, good. Hope it's not too much. With the other die, yeah, we are pretty faint of heart. We just have 3. Don't worry, we'll get some more. With the other die, you choose an action. And with that die that you choose, you activate all the spaces that you have unlocked. Currently, let me zoom in a little bit. Currently, we only have 1 thing unlocked for each of these. So if I were to choose a 1, I would gain a heart. But you can unlock these as we play further, and say I had this unlocked and this unlocked, then I would get a heart, 2 lightning bolts, and I would stun the enemy. All that I'll explain. But you can kind of upgrade your character as we go. So the gist of it is, with 1 die, you're advancing. With 1 die, you're doing the action. Cool. We'll go back and forth like that with this monster. If you defeat the monster before the 20th turn, that's great. You did awesome. You'll get 10 points if you can defeat the monster, the ogre. I'm sorry, I keep calling him monster. I mean, we don't know his story. We just walked in. He was sleeping. He's not a monster. Maybe we're really the monster. You know, we're coming into his space. My wife was playing Zelda on the Switch, and she's going around, and she's like walking up to these goblins that are just sleeping and killing them. You know, is she the bad guy of the story? I don't know. Maybe we're the villain. We're not, but that would be a good twist. But the ogre here, we're going to try to knock him out. So we advance, we do an action, and then the ogre activates. Let me explain what all the different advance areas are, and that will help us to get a better sense, and then I'll explain what all the different abilities are within those. The first area here to advance, the A zone, is looking at the actual number on the die, and you mark that many X's. So if I were to put a 4 here, to use a 4, I would mark 4 X's, an X, an X, an X, an X. As soon as you X an area where there's an icon, you unlock that. So if I were to do that, I would have unlocked this star. And I would just mark it down here. That's a victory point towards for the end of the game, towards that high score. If you look though, like say I got 6, it would get me to here, and then on a future turn, if I did put another number in, you see that there's this unlock die. It's the number 1 and an unlock, and that lets me unlock the leftmost icon that matches that. So that's where I could unlock these 2 lightning bolts for a future turn to where I could use that action and get those lightning bolts over here. Cool? So that's how this first zone works. It's just whatever the number is, you go that far. Let's look at the B zone. In this area, the number that you put in just has to be less than or equal to the number that's there. So it starts and there's a 5, so the number that there has to be a 5 or less. This one has to be 4 or less, right? It gets lower and lower as we go. Eventually gets down to 2 or less. You see you can unlock stars along the way. In that other zone there are stars, dice unlocks, and you can get energy. This one, it actually has where you can start to deal some damage to the enemy with a crossbow. It also has some unlocks. Also in each of the zones there are unlocks that just have not a specific number but just a number symbol, like the hashtag, the number sign. That lets you choose any one of the 6 dice to unlock the leftmost die. Cool. The 6th zone, the first number you put in can be any number if you choose to do that, but then following the next number has to be 1 greater or 1 less than that. So if I put a 4 in here, the next number would need to be a 3 or a 5. Also, if you see that for almost all of these, especially these 2, you're getting a bonus every time you put a number in. The bonuses just kind of vary. So this one, it's going to give you some lightning bolts, it's going to give you some hearts, it's going to give you a choice of what die to unlock. This last area is more like a path area. The middle is X'd, and you can X any number that's connected to a previously marked X that matches that number. That wasn't a great explanation. But I could, since the middle, you start in the middle. If I had a 2, I could mark this 2 off. Then on any future turn, I could mark, well, this 4, or this 3, or this 6, or off this previous X, this 5, this 4, or this 3. You see as you go out, there are unlocks to get. And look! That's a bone! That's the bone in this zone. So if you want to try to get that, you would need to go to this 3, and then go to the 5. Good question, Chantel. You can't see because the clarity here, but you can't go diagonally in this zone. It's only up, down, left, or right, orthogonally. But there, if you had the sheet, you can see the little lines that are there. That's a great question. Yep. So up, down, left, or right in that zone. So that's kind of the mini game. That's like the roll and righty kind of thing. As you can see, if you look down here, the different things to unlock, let me explain what the different symbols are. The heart, you just gain a heart. The shield, you would just gain a shield. The difference between a shield and a heart is shields block sword damage, but bow and arrow damage goes directly. It bypasses shields and knocks out hearts. So if we get a bunch of arrows and the monster has a bunch of shields, we potentially could knock out the ogre while they have a bunch of shields, and we could defeat them that way. Same with us. We may have a bunch of shields and be down to just 1 heart, and if you look, the ogre after 5 and 9 and 16 has the arrow attacks. So you would need to try to really gain a heart during those times. Sometimes you can gain a heart from the advanced track. Sometimes it doesn't go your way that way, and you need to have it unlocked down here. Another fun symbol here is the stun symbol. If you see, the 4 die has that here. It's got like a person with their eyes X'd out and like a little swirly around the head. This is a lot of fun. If you get that, you get to X off an icon that the monster would be doing in their next action. So say we got that in this first roll, we got a 4. we would literally X off this sword so that now when the monster goes to act, they don't activate that icon. Now, if you see there's some that have multiple icons, if I got one stun, I could only X off one of those icons and they would still get to do the other icon. Cool. Swords just deal a damage, you know, first to the shield, but if there's no shield, then it deals heart damage. And then energy. The energy, the lightning bolts, that's what you're accumulating over the game, and this is where you get to use your class, your character power. So I have Stunning Strike. I can spend 4 energy to deal a sword damage, to deal 1 damage, and to stun the enemy. That's sweet. So I could try to go for an energy strategy to try to get a bunch of energy. You can spend that at any time. You can spend that multiple times in a turn as long as you have energy to spend. So it may be that you, as soon as you get 4 energy, you do it. It may be that you wait until you know that they're going to be having a really bad attack next time. And that's different for each character. For the warrior, it's 2 swords, and for the rogue, it's a bow and arrow, attack, and a star. It's like the rogue is a pickpocketing silent dagger. Okay, and then the stars are just victory points. Are we all right? How are we doing? All right, let me explain if you get knocked out. Really, it could happen. It's okay if you do. But this is kind of teaching this battle system that will be kind of twists. Yeah, it's okay, Steph. Okay, good. It'll have a couple twists on this basic battle system in future battles. But if you lose all your hearts, don't worry, you're not dead, you're just knocked out. And then you revive. The way you revive is we still roll the 2 dice, we mark the die roll down. And then for one of the dice, you still advance one of these, getting any bonuses. With the other die, where you would normally choose an action here, instead of choosing an action with that number, you actually cross off one of those icons of your choice in that row. And it's gone for the game. So you don't want to get knocked out. It's discouraged. And after that, then you gain 3 hearts and you immediately revive back. Also, you just mark an X on one of these skulls. Don't get knocked out, so make sure you keep your hearts up because it's -2 points for every time you get knocked out. The good news is, no matter how many times you get knocked out, you're going to get right back up with 3 hearts. So you'll be able to keep playing and doing it. It's just if you really want to try to get that high score to get 5 campaign points, that's where you want to try to mitigate and figure out, well, I'm really going to deal damage now. No, I need to make sure I keep my hearts up and all that jazz. Okay. If you look here also in the top right corner, this is your special power use right here. We start out with just 1 superpower use, special power use for this room. So for me, at any point in the game, I can change one of my die rolls to a 3. I'm probably going to forget it, but that can be super helpful, especially maybe I've leveled up this 3 really well. That's going to guarantee that I get it, or I really needed the 3 here to do that. So it helps mitigate some of those dice rolls. All right, are we okay? I think we're ready. I'm ready. It's only been 30 minutes of rules. We're almost there. Look out, the purple thing stole our dog. We got to rescue it. Good question. Good question, Steph. When you advance, you choose one zone and you advance that one. You don't do all 4. So an example would be, say I rolled a 5 and a 6. I could use the 5 to advance in the B zone. With the 6, I will activate down here this action. On a future roll, let's say it was a 1 and a 2. Let's say I could advance here with the 1, and then with the 2, I would do an action here. Yeah. Okay, I think we should jump in. I think we should try it. Please, holler if Tell me if it's if I need to stop or slow down, or if any questions. You know what? You're right. So Epic over the last, I think 4 streams, I've been on a Super Dice Heroes run of trying to score 100, and wow, it took a long time, like 15 games it feels like, and I kept scoring like 90, 99, 88, all in that zone. Was it someone else kept scoring? It was JoJo kept scoring 100, rubbing it in, and just was struggling. And finally, I got 102. It was amazing, and man, lots of celebrating. It was literally the last game. I was like, I'm not playing Super Dice Heroes for like 10 more weeks, and we did it. Much celebrating. These are the dice. I'm going to use them. Hopefully they're still lucky for us. All right, how is the angle here? Are we okay? I think I like it like that the best. I'm actually going to cover up that a little bit. Okay, I'm going to start rolling so we can get in here, and if you have any further questions, we can keep going. All right, our first roll for Dice in the Darkness is a 3 and a 5. Also, if I didn't make this clear, we're going to use the same dice. So you don't roll your own dice. We're going to use the same dice, so everyone gets a 3 and a 5 right now. And the fun part about that is at the end of the game, we can compare scores and be like, oh, how did you do? Like when I kept getting, when JoJo kept beating me. Man, that really made me want to do better. All right, so a 3 and a 5. And I'll talk through all my stuff here. You can do your things as we play. So let's see. The wizard is a big on 3s and 4s, so I kind of want to upgrade those areas. What could I do with a 5? I could start to move over here. I could go here. I could just put a 5 in here. You know what? I think I'm going to use the 5 in the D area. And that immediately gets me a victory point. So I'll circle that. So that means with the 3 over here, I will get a shield. Cool. Oh, I didn't explain this, but as you use things like, or as you X out from left to right. I guess you don't have to do that, but I found that it makes a little more sense just to always be looking at the furthest to the right. That's what you have available. So I start from the left Xing. So like as I deal heart damage to the monster, I'll go from left to right. All right, that was my 3 and 5. I like that because it sets me up. I do feel like I want to try to get some 3s and 4s. The 4 has this great stunning. The stun is fun. And if I can get a 2 in this next roll or in the future, I will unlock more on the 4 die. Walter Torchhands, getting to work. All right, everyone good? So the monster acts now, and that means that the monster is going to deal us 1 sword damage. So first you X off a shield for sword damage. Good, good, good. So I have a shield left and 3 hearts. Sweet. All right. All right, I'm going to roll here. So this is roll 2. A 1 and a 3. Well, we didn't get our 2. You know, if we end up using the 1 to get a heart, I do like getting hearts. So what would we do with the 3? Oh, yeah, I like this. I'm going to use the 3 here in the D zone to go off that X, and that unlocks the 5. So I go down here to the 5, and I unlock the leftmost available 5. So now in future turns, when I get a 5, I get a sword and a shield. Good question. So the C zone starts here. You're right. Yeah, it does not wrap around. So 1s and 6s can only go one way. So if I put a 1 here, that's a great question, EOT Impulse. I hope cubing was fun on Friday. I saw some great pictures of your games. The 1 can only go to a 2, and the 6 can only go to a 5. Ooh, good question. Thank you, Steph. So let's, I'm going to use a 1 here to get a heart, but let me give you a situation here of what. Let's pretend like this was a 5. Yeah, that's usually how it is for me with cube too. Let's pretend like this was a 5 for that round. with the 3, I just unlocked this 5. First you advance, then you do the action. Nice. I wish there was a video of that. That's great. And if you unlocked one with this, like say I had a 5, I would get both those bonuses. So sometimes that does impact your decision of, you know, I'm actually going to unlock this die because that will give me another bonus along the way. Does that answer your question, Steph? Yeah. So that was a 3 and a 1. That's all right. Good, 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 good. Yeah. So it is you advance first, then you action. All right. I'm going to, the monster is going to act. So he does a sword damage to us. Lose a shield. We're looking at roll 3. Roll 3 is a 2 and a 4. 2 and a 4. Where's our 4 again? Oh, we got our 2. This is exactly the situation I was talking about. Okay, that sounds good. Court support. I will. I messaged them about that. We need to. It's just been a, you know, pandemic. But I think, yeah, we need to. We could at least do a 2-person. All right, so here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to use this 2 to go to the D zone. And that unlocks the 4 for me. So I unlock a sword. And I'm going to use this 4 to get both of those abilities. Ooh, I love the stun. I love to stun. So with the stun, I get to cross off one of the enemy's next icon actions. So one of his shields. And I have a sword. Boom. All right. In playtesting, Danky Dunk has usually beat the monster like at this point. So hopefully, Danky, I don't know how you're doing, buddy. How far are you? Did you do it? I think it was also because this ability that the wizard has, which is very powerful, the fireball, he just had that to start. So that made it not fair. Okay, not yet. Okay, 2 and a 4. All right, the enemy's going to act. The enemy has a shield, so the ogre gets to shield up. Ooh, yeah, the stunning strike. I love the stun. The stun lets you X off the enemy's next action. The enemy's actions are all red, right? So I got to cross off one of his shields. So that now when that enemy acted, instead of getting both shields, it only got 1 shield. At least that's what happened for me because of the stunning. So if you're able to like stun on some of these turns, it's just the enemy doesn't do anything when there's only 1 icon. Or actually you can't double stun. I guess you could with a stunning strike. But you can try to work that to, yeah. You do. Good question, Chantel. Yeah, so it is in your favor. You get to choose which one. In regards to this monster, all the times that there's multiple icons, they're the same. But that question will be super relevant as the future monsters have other things. All right, roll 4. How we doing? Here we go, roll 4. It's a 2 and a 3. There's our 3. I'm all about 4s now, though. So 2, 3. I'm kind of hanging in the D zone there. When do I start getting energy? Is that good now? You know, I have to get the bone. I'm going to get this 3, so I get a shield immediately. Boom. Then I have a 2, and so I will gain 2 energy. That sets me up because I can get 2 more energy, and that really is a good payoff with a stunning strike. Ooh, help me not forget, I can levitate. I can levitate 1 time in this room. So when I really need a 3, I can make it happen. Good question. Yeah, Chantel, there's no benefit. As it goes on, sometimes it's usually as you get further along, that's when you hit upgrading a die of your choice, any die. But in regards to finishing, there's no like major payoff or big point advantage. Maybe there should be, because that seems thematic. There should be. Chantel, that's great. All right, so the monster's going to act now. The monster's gaining 2 shields on my side here. I need to start dealing some damage. I'm like twiddling my thumbs with this monster. All right, roll 5 is a 3 and a 4. 3 and a 4. I like it. Well, I think I need to do a 3 here so I can use the 4 ability. I think I'm going to use my 3 in the B zone, so I get a star, just a straight up victory point. That lets me use the 4, which is a stun, and also a damage, a sword damage, which is just a shield there. I do like that I'm not getting attacked right now. Yeah. Cool. All right, I'm looking at roll 6. Oh, the monster acts and will deal a bow and arrow damage, which bypasses your shields if you have that. I know, he really is. Shrek, poor Shrek. 2 and a 2 for roll 6. 2 and a 2. I think unlocking dice is really good. So I'm going to do the B zone with one of those 2s. That unlocks this. With the other 2, I'll get 2 lightning bolts. I think I'm going to save my stunning strike until the shield. Because, man, it just is he's going to gain a lot of shields over the game. I really want to try to defeat him as quickly as possible. Cool. Hey, thanks for joining in on this premiere. This is the first time this game is being played this way. What a joy to play with you all. Thanks for joining in. All right, this is roll 6 we just did, and now the enemy's going to act. Deals a sword damage, so we absorb 1 of that with a shield. Hopefully you have a shield. How's everybody doing? Are we going to make it? Going to defeat it? All right, here's roll 7. It's a 3 and a 4. 3 and a 4. I do like that roll. Maybe. Well, I really like 4s. So I need to figure out how to use the 3. I think I'm going to do the 3 here. Gives me another victory point. And then the 4 lets me stun. So I cross off this sword and then deals 1 sword damage. All right, back and forth here. All right, so if you don't have it crossed off, the enemy would gain a shield right now. No 6s. Oh, man. Yeah. You're right. They haven't. There we go. There we go, Steph. 5 and a 6 for roll 8. 5, 6. Well, you know, is it time? I'm going to do it. I'm going to use the 5 to get that bone. The bone's worth 2 points in this room. I'm going to go ahead and mark it down there. And you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to go ahead and mark it on this. Look at this. Boom. Got a bone. Bella's going to be so happy, I hope, when we rescue her. And then with the 6, I will get a sword damage. And you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to use my stunning strike now. So 1, 2, 3, 4. It costs 4 energy to use. So I cross off 4 energy, and then I deal 1 sword damage and 1 stun. because I don't want this enemy to gain shields. That gives me a couple turns to try to gain some hearts and get there that way. All right, enemy axe. So the enemy would gain a shield if you have that. All right, roll 9 is a 2 and a 5. What shall we do? I like 5s. I'm going to use the 2 here in zone B. That gives me another unlock on 4, which 4s are looking very good. And look, if I get one more unlock on 4s, I just want 4s the rest of the game. So use the 2 there, and I'm going to use the 5 here. So I gain a shield, and I deal a damage. All right. All right, let's see what the enemy does. The enemy has a bow and arrow. Yeah. Yep, good question, Chantel. On the actual dice, there are numbers. So you can print this black and white and or grayscale and still play. The colors are just so it's not as overwhelming. Yeah. And so, Steph, tell us if you can see the numbers okay. I really tried to make it so you could. The 4, actually, since it's yellow, it's kind of difficult to see it. But the hope is that you don't need the color, but it's just a little extra, if that's a thing. Okay, good. All right, so 2 and a 5. This was that roll. Now the enemy is dealing a bow and arrow damage, so I lose a heart. I have 1 shield, 3 hearts left. Here we go. This is roll 10. I have canceled 4 of the enemy's actions, which has been pretty helpful. Shot through the heart. Roll 10 is a 4 and a 4. I'll take all the 4s. What to do with this 4? It's funny, I haven't touched this A zone. Usually, I like that zone a lot. But here we are. Well, with 1, I will get an energy. I'll go in the D zone. With this other one, look at this. Look at this party. So I cross off one of the swords. I gain a sword, boom, and I gain a shield. Whew. That was really good. I want every single 4. I'm doing pretty well on 3s also. If I can unlock 2 more 3s, this might be broken. We got it. All right. The enemy's going to act. He has 2 swords. For me, he just has 1, so he's going to deal a damage, but I absorbed 1 with a shield. Here's roll 11. Ooh, 3 and a 4. I'm sorry. It's like I'm cheating. These are all the rolls that I need. The warriors over there like, where are my 5s and 6s? 3 and a 4. I'm going to do it. I'm going to go in zone B. That gives me an arrow. So I get to deal a bow and arrow damage. And then with the 4, I'm going to cancel out a shield, deal a damage, and gain a shield. This is really good because it kind of is doing all the things, the 4. If you notice the 6, if you can upgrade the 6 all the way, it's just you're dealing so much damage to the enemy. It's pretty unreal. All right. So the enemy's going to act and gain some shields. For me, I'll just gain 1 shield. Tell me if I'm going too fast. Yeah, so it's like a draw in regards to, it's like you both dealt each other a good bit of damage. But if you look down here at the bottom, you get 10 points, and it's got a little tiny itty bitty ogre, and it's turned sideways, meaning you defeated the ogre. So if you defeat Shrek, the ogre, it's not Shrek, not sponsored. If you defeat this ogre, you get 10 bonus points. If you don't, you just don't get those 10 bonus points. So you still move on, you still get points in other ways. Uh, so it's strongly encouraged to defeat the ogre, but it is possible for that to not happen. If you notice he gets one last big strike, that will come. All right, did I give him a shield? Did I do it? No, it's not. No, it's not. It's not Shrek. Definitely not. All right, I think I did give him a shield. Did I? If I missed it, please tell me. I'm pretty sure. Oh, it's Shirk. I read it wrong. Here we go. Here's our high roll. That's okay. You may be getting a lot of other stuff down here. You've maxed your 3 action. That's great. Very good. I'm glad you said that, Impulse. If you max out a certain zone in your action, and in the future, if you unlock a die that's associated with that one, like if your 3 zone is maxed out and you unlock a 3 die, then you just get to choose anyone to unlock. Coerce. Wait a minute. I was reading that in a mirror, and it's a Shrek. 5, 6. We got to get back to some D&D. I miss it. I miss it. 5 and a 6 here. Did that answer your question? Yeah, Impulse. Steph, it's okay. Don't fret. Don't fret. If you're staying alive, you're doing great. It's some of the dice rolls. Sometimes it's hard to deal damage. So it's okay. Well, I missed that it was that you said Shirk, so not that fast, I guess. So I could. I'm going to be taking a lot of damage here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It's just all damage the rest of the game. It's literally all damage. So the question is, do I try to rush and deal a lot of damage to the enemy and just try to defeat it? I'll take 2, take another 1, and then I'm dying by the end of round 14. Stream immediately cuts off due to infringement rights. Copyright. Oh, I'm not sure what to do. I feel like it is good to get this 6 down here, this unlock. I got the bone. Really, that's all that mattered. Are you not? Thankfully, it doesn't cut off if I die. That would be dramatic, wouldn't it? All right, I'm using the 6 here to unlock any die. I think I'm going to unlock. My roll of 4 is just, it's unreal how good it is. So I'm going to unlock that because I had unlock any die. And then I have a 5, so I get gain a shield. That's really good. And I deal a damage, which is going to be shield damage. 4 hearts left. Uh-oh. I'm glad there's a survey. I hate this room. Worst room ever. There were no spiders. What am I supposed to do? This is a tough room. Here we go. Oh, sorry. The enemy deals 2 damage to us. 2 sword damage, so we're taking some shields off. All right, roll 13 is a 2 and a 2. Thank you, Steph. Only going up from here. I will say they vary. Some will hit you in different ways. I keep looking at my wall because it's like they're all taped up there. All right, 2 and a 2. This is not great. This is not the. Oh no! This is great. Here's why it's great, because I'm going to do a 2 in the B, and that unlocks a 2 die. So that makes the 2 way better. Then with the 2 die, I will get 2 energy and stun. Stunning feels great. I do like the stun. The good news is if you hate this room, good news, we're not playing it again. Not in this campaign. Just there's All right, here we go. So if you haven't exited off, the enemy's going to deal a sword damage here. I'm curious to, power level, what they feel like here for what character you are, and if you weren't able to defeat the ogre. All right, here we go. 14 is a 1 and a 3. 14 is a 1 and a 3. Shrek is a great movie. I don't realize how often I quote it. One and a 3. Sorry, my brain turned off there for a second. Long day. Well, this is good because I'm going to do the 1 here to unlock the 3 die. This has worked out pretty well. That's happened a couple times this game. And then with the 3, I will gain a shield and 2 energy. All right. And a sword. I'm actually pretty close to knocking him out. That's it. I'm looking down. My mouth was open and everything. That's one. Ogres have layers. Parfait. Onions have layers. Parfait have layers. I say that'll do, donkey. A good bit. That'll do, donkey. That'll do. All right. So did I resolve all the things with the 3? Yes. I think I'm going to go ahead and spend and use my stunning strike. It is stunning. So I spend 4 lightning bolts. I deal a damage, and I stun one of the swords. That's great. So now I might be at the point where I'm about to defeat the ogre, and I'm going to try to get some points. Even after you defeat the ogre, you get to keep playing to try to get points. Oh, the ogre's going to attack. Deals a sword. I have a shield and 3 hearts left. I'm honored that you're watching while working. I love it. That's right. Thank you. Yep. So if you knock the ogre out, they don't act at all anymore. But instead of just sitting there and like twiddling your thumbs and being like, that was cool, you get to keep advancing and trying to earn stars that way or get the bone. But you don't need to worry about the enemy coming at you. Also, like for the rogue, you can keep trying to earn energy because the rogue's ability lets him or her spend the bolts to get victory points. All right, roll 15, 5 and a 6. Here's our high roll. I think I might try to levitate at this point. Or I may try to get some victory points, actually. I'm lying all the time. I'm not going to do any of those things. I'm going to put a 5 in here in the C zone, and that gives me a lightning bolt. I am going to levitate here. This is my first time doing this. I don't know if you got to do yours yet. So I'm going to spend this here, and that lets me change one of these dice to a 3. So I'll change the 6 to a 3. So I gain a shield, 2 lightning bolts, and a sword. Y'all, I'm doing it. I'm going to spend 4 bolts and deal a damage. Yeah! And it also would stun. All right. Defeated that ogre. So I'll keep playing and rolling here, no matter where you are. Here was kind of my point. It was after 15. Stares at wall. Yes. 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 All right, the enemy will act and deal a sword damage. Now we're doing roll 16. All right, so a 2 and a 5. 2 and a 5 on roll 16. So for my stuff here, I'm especially looking at the A zone to try to get some stars to go along. Really, it's just the A zone because I've gotten all the stars in the B zone. So I'm going to mark 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let me say this too. It's not just star victory points at the end. If you look, you also get victory points, 1 for every star, 1 for every heart that you have left, 1 for every 2 lightning bolts that you did not spend that you have, 2 for every bone, and then -2 for every time you had to revive. You don't get any points for leftover shields, but so getting hearts and getting your lightning bolts and your stars are important now. So I did a 5 there, now I do a 2. This is good. I'm getting some lightning bolts, and I would stun. All right, so the enemy's going to act and deal a arrow damage. So straight to the heart, shot through the heart. Who's to blame? Roll 17, here we go. Roll 17 is a 1 and a 2. What's going to get me the most points here? I think I will go a 2 here. Gives me another lightning bolt. And then I'll do a 1 here to get a heart. Surviving. That's it. That's it. Do it, Impulse. Just ignore this ogre. If you can survive, just be like, see ya. Hit him in the knee, and then you're grabbing all the stars and all the bolts. That's it. Okay, that was a 1 and a 2. Now the enemy's going to act and deal 2 sword damage. I defeated him, so I'm not having to take any of that business. Let's do roll 18. How are we looking? 3 and a 3. Not a lot of choices. I actually don't have any choices here. I'm going to go here, here, here. Get a star. I get a 1 unlock. And then I get my 3 unlock. I'll mark the shield, but it doesn't matter. Deal a sword, which doesn't really matter right now, and I will get 2 bolts. Hey, good for you. When did you get them? When did you get them? Yeah, so this is where you're just trying to max out on those points. Oh, you're about to run. I misread. You're about to. I would imagine your character running out of the room with your hands full of energy and stars. If you run out of room for stars or energy, you just mark. However it is for you to mark, but you still gain them. So it's not like it's supposed to be unlimited spaces to unlock. Good, good, good. Hey, Lego Tyler. Awesome. So let's just pretend I had maxed out here with energy. I could say just start marking tally marks for energy, or I could start doing little circles, whatever it is down that side. If you kill the ogre, you get 10 points. So it's okay if you don't kill it. Don't fret. Yeah, that's right, 10 points. All right, the ogre's going to attack and deal 2 sword damage. I'm super interested in the points at the end of this, of how folks did. All right, the ogre is dealing 2 sword damage to folks. All right, here we go. Roll 19. We're almost there. It's a 1 and a 2. 1 and a 2. I really need a 4 or a 6. This is okay, though. Maybe. I'm going to put the 2 in here. Unlocks a 1. And then I'm going to use the 1. So I get a heart, which is great. I get 2 lightning bolts. Also great. And then I do a stun. Hey, That's great, Steph. I'm glad. If it's not engaging, just keep it to yourself. Thank you. All right, this is it. So the enemy's going to deal a bow and arrow damage. So straight to the heart, bypassing your shields. This is roll 20. This is it. We're going to make it, crew. Here we go. It's a 1 and a 4. There's our 4. Oh, this is great. That was a great roll for me. Because I'm going to put my 4 in here in the C zone, and that gives me a heart. And then I get a 1, which also gives me a heart and 2 energy. I like that one a lot. That was a good roll. Now, here's the tough part. If the ogre is still alive, the ogre is going to deal 6 sword damage to you. Now listen, it's okay if that happens. It's just there's a good chance it might knock you out. So if it knocks you out, you just have to cross off one of these skulls. Okay? Nice! Right at the end. On roll 20. Oh, that's great. I love it. Photo finish. Taking care of the ogre. Oh, impressive. All right. Everyone totaling up your stuff here. How are we? I'm about to do total scores for me. Are we okay to do that? Whew. All right, so I killed the ogre, knocked out the ogre. We'll see what happens. I get 10 points. I check my stars. This used to be gold. They're stars. 5 victory points for the stars. Hearts left. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 hearts. And then for every 2 energy, I get a point. So 1, 2, 3, 4. No halves. No 0.5s. For the bone, you get 2 points. The bone points change per room, but for this one's 2. I didn't get knocked out, thankfully. All right. Pull out my calculator. No math on stream. All right. How'd we do? I got 28. How'd y'all do? How did you do? How do you do? It's all good. Thanks for watching. That's awesome. Whoa! 102! 26, Steph. That's great. Lego Tyler, 31. Wow, 35 is the high score here. Impressive. Rogue. Rogue seems good. Court support, that's great. Thanks so much for tuning in. Appreciate you. Man. Woo, that's great. So let's look here at, got some story to tell, but here is the, this is on the rule sheet here, but we can do it together. Danky Dunk 33. Impressive. Wow. Okay. So if you look here, the room scores, if you got 1 to 13, then you would get 3 points for your campaign score. So I'm going to pull out my little, oh my gosh, all the sheets. Too many sheets. So I'm looking here at my character sheet at the bottom. Here's where I write my score for that room. So I got 28 points. And then we're going to convert that score for your campaign score. So if you got 1 to 13, you would get 3 points for your campaign score. If you got 14 through 24, you get 4 points. If you got 25 or more points, you get 5 points. So I'm going to put a 5 here. Now with that, that's where every point you get in your campaign is a point for your skill tree. I'm going to do that now because I really want to do the skill tree. That is great. Way to go, everybody. I need to make this harder. No, it's that everyone's so good. That's what it is. All right, so I'm going to mark, where am I trying to move to? I really like the special powers. So B1 seems really good. I could try to work my way to B2. That's pretty good. I am going to do that. So I'll go 1, 2, 3. I get an upgrade. I'm going to do a dexterity. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Wait, I have in a battle stun the enemy 5 or more times. Did I do it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I did it. I got an achievement too. I love it. Thematic. All right, so if you get an achievement, you get 3 more battle points. Oh my gosh. This really turned out great. So I'm unlocking B2 down here. I'm getting another upgrade. I'll be smart. Whew. So I unlocked duplicate. So now in the next room, I will still have only 1 special power use, but I get to choose. I can either use it to levitate or to duplicate. Cool. Correct. So I've unlocked this achievement once. It's done. I can't do it again. Now I only have 2 achievements left to unlock, which this one is rescue at least 2 fairies from the spider's web. Spoilers. This one is buy the gnome mare's ring and scepter. Spoilers. Thanks, Steph. I think this is, I didn't make this super clear because I didn't label it up here. But the up arrow is upgrading your 3 upgrades here. That there's going to be spiders and webs and fairies and a gnome mare maybe. So Steph, for every, the stats, here we go. So in this rule sheet, and I'll explain this all when we do it, but up in this top right corner of this rule sheet, it has a setup. And this says, at the beginning of each room, this will be where you will check your unlocked character upgrades. That's your strength, dexterity, and intelligence. And you receive additional bonuses. So for this first room, you have only 1 special power use and all that stuff, right? But for the next room, there are some bonuses. If you've played other roll and writes, think like, bonuses that you will earn and then you can spend. How far along you are on those tracks, you will get certain specific bonuses that fit thematically with those. Yeah. So those upgrades, how far along you are. So right now, I have 1 dexterity and 1 intelligence. So we'll see what the next room says about doing that. Cool. And each room, it'll check those at the beginning of them. There's no way you can tell in your first play of what they will be, but it's all positive. It's all good. So, and just think thematically what you want your character to be like. Do you want your character to be really strong? Do you want your character to be really like cunning and quick and dexterous, good with dexterity? Or you want your character to be really smart and intelligent? Okay, so let's turn back here. It's time for some story. Oh my goodness, we made it. I'm so glad y'all made it. And then I have a survey for anyone that wants to take it. How was the stream? Filled out a survey. All right, here we go. End of room story. The ogre falls to one knee, defeated, grunting, "Barg," which loosely translates to, "You have bested me, you noble fighter of what is good and right, for I was only trying to find my stuffed teddy bear. I think that purple creature took it. You must forgive me in my confusion. My teddy bear is truly my most cherished possession. Please, oh please, will you save it for me?" The ogre, looking especially exhausted, begins to tilt further and further, falling over to the ground, then begins snoring. It looks like you might need to rescue a dog and a stuffed teddy bear. You hop over the ogre's sleeping body and rush down the steps, further down the dungeon, deeper into the darkness. Bum bum bum. Tune in next week as we that's it. As we grapple the chasm and work our way through. So let me, if you are so interested, no pressure. Please, 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 please. No pressure, for real. This is all opt-in. But this is just a quick Google form survey. It's not asking for any email or anything like that, any information. But just if you have any feedback, It's just a quick survey talking about what room, what character you were, what your score was. Any of that stuff would be super helpful. And if you want to have a name, if you want a name, no pressure, no pressure. That's right. No pressure, but it's like, what is that, like the timeshare thing? It's like, listen, we'll give you this stuff for free, but now you got to sit and listen to this. Nope, for real. But at the end of that, if you want to name, I want to have some involvement here. In a room coming up, room 5, I have some gnomes and some shroomers to name. So if you would like to name them, you can do that. That's awesome, Chantel. Thank you. Hey, this has been a blast. Oh my gosh, we made it. First night. Hope y'all made it all right through it. So listen, you can do whatever you want with this sheet. You can throw it away if you want. This guy, this sheet is the one to save. Walter Torchhands, and this is the one that you're going to take through the whole dungeon. That's right. You could, I guess you could. A lot of people do that, right? They rate a board game before they've played it. I don't know anything about this, but it's a 7. Okay. Yeah, yeah, that's okay. You can if you want to put in the name, you can do that either way. Oh my gosh, y'all, thanks so much for tuning in tonight. Let me do a couple quick things here. Yeah, so listen, I'll be back on Sunday for another stream. Sunday at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'm going to choose a different character. I think I might go Warrior next time. I'll have to think on it. But we'll be back next week at this same time at 8 p.m. on Thursday night. Thursday night is going to be the first night that we kind of premiere the next room. So next week we'll do room 2. Room 2 is great. It's so fun. It's not to play favorites, but I think it is my favorite. Don't pick Rogue. I won't. Okay, I think I'll go Warrior. Just real quick, if you're able to, tell me, several people picked Rogue. Did anyone go Warrior? Anyone go Wizard in the chat? I think, who was it that said they got the highest score? Lego Tyler, I think, got the, oh no, I think it was EOT Impulse. Those were our 230s. Impressive scores, guys. Wizard. Yes, Steph, you and I were Wizard. Very good. Yeah. There was another survey. I'm telling you, these surveys, they make a difference. Don't sleep on the survey, all right? Oh, Danky got 33. That's right. Very good. The 3 of y'all got 30s. I had another survey of talking about the rooms when really it was just like 2 rooms we were working on. That's it. That's it, Steph. And it was saying what kind of, I do love surveys, what rooms do you want to play? And I took the feedback. Danky Dunk said spiders, spiders, spiders. And you know what? We've got some spiders coming your way. If you like to try to guess what rooms are coming, at the bottom of the page of your character sheet, it has some extra little pictures there, which is kind of fun to think about where we're coming. I think you did, Steph. I'm sorry. I just can't please everybody. I just can't win. Just can't do it. Hey, here's my for real last spiel. Here's why I do this, Jazz. Here it is. All these games are free, and so just as a way to highlight this during the pandemic, they're free, so anyone can play. That's really what it's about. So back in, what was it, April, May, so many people are struggling, shelter in place, and just like, what's a way that I could give back? And so I was thinking I could, and also really have a creative outlet. I started doing these one-page roll and writes, free roll and writes. You can find all those on Board Game Geek or on here on this website. If you're interested in playing these free one-page roll and writes, and that they scale from 1 to 100, so you could play like on Zoom or you could play on Twitch, but they're free. But with each one of those, I was featuring a nonprofit for folks that if they want to if they're able to give back and they want to give back, that's something they could do. So for this stream, for these Dice in the Darkness, I wanted to feature a local place that's helping kids eat. So this is Forsyth Backpack Program. And 1 in 4 kids in our area are hungry. And the idea is that you help support a backpack for kids that would be filled with food that they take home on Friday. A lot of free and reduced lunch that happens in the week. That doesn't happen on Saturday and Sunday. So the idea is that a kid will go home with a backpack full of food so they can have food for the weekend to eat. So that's a place to support locally, or just support your local food bank. That's the thing too. That's my spiel. Thanks for listening. Y'all, this has been a blast this evening. What a fun thing. What a fun thing. So thanks for tuning in.